Are you feeling exhausted and heartbroken watching your dog struggle with acid reflux symptoms? You've tried everything, different diets, countless supplements, and yet nothing seems to work. The constant discomfort takes a toll on your pet's quality of life, and not to mention your peace of mind. You may even be using medications like Prilosec or Omeprazole that seem to help, but are you worried about the possible side effects and the long-term impact on your pet? You know it's not fixing the root cause, but once again, you feel really stuck on what you can do to help your dog feel better. By the end of this video, you will understand why these common acid reflux medications are not the best option for truly healing your dog's acid reflux, and most importantly, what you can do to start healing your dog at the root cause level with natural remedies. Take it from our Blueprint member, Riley, a dog who is on steroids and antacids for her acid reflux. After switching to supplements like slippery elm, marshmallow root, and standard process okra pepsin, along with a few other adjustments, Riley is now experiencing fewer episodes of acid reflux and is feeling much better, and her mom feels much more calm with how to support her and help her feel her best. If this is something you're struggling with, I'm Dr. Katie Woodley, a holistic veterinarian. I help pet parents like you all over the world figure out the root cause of their pet's gut health issues, and I don't want you to struggle alone anymore. There's a link below to speak with me directly, so go ahead and book a call. But first, let's talk about the common symptoms of acid reflux in dogs. Just like in humans, acid reflux occurs when stomach acid flows back up into the esophagus. It causes irritation and discomfort. But here's some of the signs to watch out for. You might notice licking lips or licking the air excessively, decreased or even increased appetite, vomiting bile, retching, burping, or even gagging, eating dirt, grass, or inanimate objects, bad breath, especially when there's no visible dental disease, painful swallowing, possibly crying or whining, and reluctance to eat, change in like voice or change of bark, restlessness, pacing, and inability to get comfortable, a hunchback showing discomfort and tightness, especially after eating, or what we call a prayer stance or downward dog stance, esophageal ulceration that can be shown by vomiting up blood. But let's talk about how common acid reflux medications like Prilosec and Omeprazole work. These medications are classified as proton pump inhibitors, or what we're going to call PPIs. They work by blocking the enzyme in the stomach wall that produces acid, effectively reducing the amount of acid in the stomach. While this can provide temporary relief for acid reflux symptoms, it's really important to understand that these medications are not without their risks, especially when used long term. Now, there are growing concerns over the long-term use of PPIs in both humans and even in pets. Studies in humans have shown that prolonged use of these medications can lead to several health issues, including vitamin and mineral deficiencies, because PPIs can interfere with the absorption of essential nutrients like vitamin B12, calcium, magnesium, and iron. And over time, this can lead to deficiencies and associated health problems. There's also an increased risk of esophageal cancer. Some studies have suggested that long-term suppression of stomach acid can lead to changes in the esophageal lining, potentially increasing the risk of esophageal cancer. There's increased risk of bone fractures because reduced calcium absorption can weaken bones, increasing the risk of fractures, can lead to things like kidney disease. So chronic kidney disease and even kidney failure and gut health problems. PPIs can disrupt the natural balance of gut bacteria, potentially leading to infections and other gastrointestinal problems like overgrowth of Helicobacter pylori. These risks are not just limited to humans. While specific studies on dogs are limited, the similarities in how these medications affect the body suggest that dogs may also be at risk for these same health issues. This is why it's crucial to explore alternative treatments and address the root cause of your dog's acid reflux. So, what can you do to help your dog without relying on long-term medication? So here are some holistic approaches to consider that have worked really well in my own patients. Dietary changes. Feeding smaller, more frequent meals can help reduce the risk of acid reflux. Now, opt for a higher quality, easily digestible, less processed diet. Avoid feeding your dog fatty foods and consider adding digestive enzymes to their meals to help break it down. Using herbal remedies. Now, certain herbs can be very effective in soothing and protecting the esophagus and reducing acid reflux symptoms. Now, here's a couple options for you to consider. Slippery elm. This is known for its mucilage content, which coats and soothes the esophagus and stomach lining, reducing irritation that's caused by that stomach acid. It can actually be given as a powder mixed with water to form a paste or as an extract. And the typical dosage is 1 teaspoon per 20 pounds of body weight. Mix it with a small amount of water, give it before meals. We actually have an entire YouTube video that you can watch that we previously posted. Marshmallow root. This is another mucilage that also helps soothe and calm down inflammation in the digestive tract. It can be given as a tea or also as an extract. To make the tea, you'll steep a teaspoon of the dried root in hot water, let it cool, and then give that to your dog. So taking out the dried root and just using the tea water. The dosage will depend on your dog's size, usually around 1/2 to 1 teaspoon of the tea per 10 pounds of body weight. However, it's very safe. It's very hard to overdose that. Now, ginger. Ginger has anti-inflammatory and digestive properties that can help reduce nausea and improve digestion. Fresh ginger can actually be grated and added to the food, or you can even make your own ginger tea. And the dosage is typically 1/8 of a teaspoon of fresh ginger per 10 pounds of body weight, given once to twice daily. Licorice root is another excellent herb that has soothing properties that can help reduce stomach acid and protect the stomach lining. Deglycerized licorice, DGL, is preferred to avoid potential side effects of glycyrrhizin. DGL tablets can be given or powder according to manufacturer's instructions, but typically 1/4 to 1/2 a tablet per 10 pounds of body weight. Just make sure if you're using human products, there's no xylitol listed in the ingredients, which is toxic to dogs. And then there's chamomile. This has anti-inflammatory and soothing properties that help calm the inflammation related to acid reflux. Chamomile tea can be made by steeping 1 teaspoon of dried chamomile flowers in hot water, letting it cool, and then giving that tea water to your dog and mixing it in the food. The dosage is typically, once again, 1/2 to 1 teaspoon of the tea per 10 pounds body weight, given once or twice daily. Aloe vera juice can help soothe and heal the esophagus and stomach lining, once again, reducing irritation and inflammation. So use only pure aloe vera juice that is free from aloin, which can be toxic to dogs. The dosage is typically 1/4 teaspoon per 10 pounds of body weight, given once or twice daily. And then fennel seeds, they can help reduce bloating and gas and improve digestion. Fennel seeds can be ground and added to the food, or once again, you can make fennel tea. The dosage is usually 1/8 of a teaspoon of ground seeds or 1/2 to 1 teaspoon of tea per 10 pounds of body weight. You don't need to use all of these, but maybe start with picking 1 or 2 and seeing how your dog does with this in terms of their symptoms reducing. Now, there are a few other supplements that you can consider using to help support their digestive health and optimize. So that way we're reducing the root causes of acid reflux occurring. Colostrum is a great option to help the microbiome and the immune system, and typically 1/2 a teaspoon per 20 pounds of body weight is the dose that you'd use. Peppermint is very soothing, also energetically, to calming all that heat and inflammation that typically occurs with acid reflux. And Manuka honey. It's a great natural option to add to those teas that I just told you are great options to use. And 1/2 a teaspoon per 20 pounds of body weight is a great starting point. It also is a great natural antibacterial. So as I mentioned before, a lot of times when we're experiencing acid reflux, we might have an overgrowth of Helicobacter, a pathogenic bacteria in the stomach that is aggravating things, and Manuka honey can help reduce the bad bacteria. Now, one of the most common Chinese herbal formulas I use in these situations is one called Glenia and Rehmannia combination. Glenia and Rehmannia are two traditional Chinese herbs known for their potential benefits in supporting gastrointestinal health and addressing symptoms like diarrhea and acid reflux. Glenia is often used in traditional Chinese medicine to nourish yin, moisten the lungs, and promote fluid production. It's considered a cooling herb and once again soothes irritated mucous membranes, which is really beneficial for dogs experiencing acid reflux. Romania is known for its ability to tonify yin and nourish the blood from a Chinese medicine perspective. It's often used to support kidney and liver function, as well as to address symptoms of dryness and inflammation. And in the context of gastrointestinal issues, Rehmannia's nourishing properties can support overall digestive health and alleviate symptoms like acid reflux. Putting the two together helps form the formula Glenia and Rehmannia and combination and provides a synergistic effect. So it's addressing both the underlying imbalances contributing to the acid reflux symptoms and providing relief from those specific GI issues. If you want to try this herbal formula for your pet, you can get it from our full script link in the description below. Please keep in mind Chinese herbal supplements work best with the guidance of a practitioner who is trained in Chinese herbal medicine. And if you need guidance or help, that's part of my specialties and how I support you in our Blueprint program. If you want to learn more and see if this is a good fit for you, make sure to schedule your free discovery call. The link is in the description below. Now let's talk about the feeding practices that can help when your dog's experiencing acid reflux. Feeding several small meals, as I mentioned before, spaced throughout the day actually helps optimize for easier digestion. You want to keep a consistent feeding schedule and include a small snack at bedtime, such as a raw freeze-dried food, to avoid an empty stomach overnight. Some of the foods you want to avoid are things like dry processed foods that contain known allergens like grains and starches, chemical preservatives, and ingredients with low nutritional value, and instead feeding high moisture meals that are made of whole foods. They're less processed, so things like gently cooked meats, lightly steamed vegetables, making sure to stick to lower fat and lower fiber, which can help with the symptoms dramatically. Now, stress reduction is key. Stress can actually exacerbate acid reflux, so we need to ensure that our dog has a calm and relaxed environment, and even using herbs like ashwagandha to help manage stress for both you and your dog can be quite beneficial. Now let's reference some of the studies that highlight the concerns with using some of the acid reflux medications long-term. There was a study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association that found that the long-term PPI use was associated with an increased risk of vitamin B12 deficiency in humans. Another study in Gut Journal indicated a potential link between prolonged PPI use and an increased risk of esophageal cancer. Once again, while direct studies on dogs are limited, the mechanisms of action are similar and we can infer potential risks. It's essential to weigh those risks against the benefits and consider a holistic approach that actually addresses the root cause of the problem rather than just masking the symptoms and potentially making the problem much worse in the future. So while medications like Prilosec and Omeprazole can provide temporary relief for your dog's acid reflux, it's really important to be aware of the potential long-term risks. By focusing on holistic approaches, you can actually address and heal the root cause of your dog's acid reflux symptoms and improve their overall health naturally. If this is something you're struggling with and you're ready to find a way forward rather than hoping the next thing works, there's a link below to speak with me directly so we can start figuring out together how to heal the root cause of your dog's acid reflux naturally. And if you'd like to learn even more about gut health issues, make sure to watch our next video on the causes of leaky gut, which could be contributing to your dog's acid reflux symptoms without you even knowing it's keeping you stuck. I'll see you soon.